Welcome to the Archangel Michael's chat. Well, a little bit late. Had to put it off a few times. But when you're the Archangel Michael, you don't know what you're going to be doing from one day to the next. You just know how to deal with it. But like God said, I'm here now. Let us put some light on the subject. I get this hair out of my eye. Oh. Okay. Oh. And there we have some light. A little bit more won't hurt. Can always buy some more batteries. Small price to pay to bring God into your day. But first, well, so it's time I did so. Oh. Remember that this is Sparta. Oh, and there we go. And Sparta has a set of rules. No retreat, no surrender, under any circumstance. Oh, someone's there. Hello. How are you going? I hope you are well. I will get stuck into the Lord's Prayer very shortly. But first, I haven't said my favorite saying for a while, so it's about time I did so. Oh. This is for the ladies. A strong woman knows she's going to play with me now. But the woman of strength who knows that the journey will make her even stronger. No, that's true. Women are very powerful. Like I said, the most powerful engine that we have as a human race is the thinking engine. And my people, that can only be formed by a circle of women. How that narrative has changed. And it is wrong. But people see God every day, but they fail to recognize Him. And that is why evil wins. God's plan is better than your dreams. But we have to make God's plan happen first. And only His plan can work through us. And then we'll receive those dreams. Words are strength. Use them wisely. So, we got 7 keys for humanity to turn. So you can clear your pathway to heaven. And straight into those gates. And we're going to do 2 of them now. We're going to, number 1, put God first. And number 7, pray every day. We will discuss this shortly. Let's put God first. Put ourselves first. And put as the light. Shine us. Their life. This is the wrong way to pray. You ask him the storm. He can do. For he's the other way. Not that he doesn't want to. It's not. It's just that he's not allowed to by the rules. Now God is the God. He can change the rules anytime. But what type of God is he if he cheats? So he by these rules to see how smart he is. And he's very intelligent indeed. Well, here's the Lord's Prayer. This will help you find your way to God, give you a bit of light in the day. And like I said, this goes out to all the suffering children, all those children subject to wars, and all those that are taken away and bad things happen to them. So, here we go, the Lord's Prayer. I hope you're ready. Our Father, who art in heaven, thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. Now we have God in the day. Pretty much my job's done. My content's done. I run for God. And there's only one mod for God. One that was different. For all the other angels turned against him. Pretend would moderate for God. I will moderate for God. That is my purpose. As a weapon. Not even the Son of God. But a weapon. Used in any manner sees fit. And well, how humanity thinks may question whether there is a God at all, and how science and religion stay separated. Ask yourself, in that CERN reactor, the most technologized bit of machinery that man has devised, what particle are they searching for? If the science and the religion are so separate, is it not the God particle? Or are they trying to imitate something that is similar to God? Ask yourself that one. Because the human race is very good at mimicking things. We are very good at synthesizing things. We are getting better every day. Well, there you go. Well, the other 5 keys we have to learn. So we put God, that's done. We put number 7, pray, we prayed. And if you did follow, that's good. If you just listen, that's so the second one, really, on the list, is we have to love one another. Makes all the difference. We won't have wars. We must never hate. That's a pretty hard one. I, as a human, have to deal with that. as an angel. It doesn't say. Give generously. If you can give a little, but you do it with a generous heart. Oh, that's that goddamn Wi-Fi. Sorry, I'll be there in a second. Put my finger on the camera. Oop. That's the Wi-Fi. I had to switch it over, and it slipped off its perch. I'll just fix it all now. Boom. Yes. I found out you can tap into your Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi has got a bit of a glitch. He's got the second best IT system that can go hooking up for the games. So it should be no glitches. So I switched the Wi-Fi off, and I use my own phone credit and go to the tower. Seems to be better. Seem to not have any delays. And that's one way they get into your computer nowadays, is through that Wi-Fi. Everything is almost Wi-Fi. Oh, live simple. Don't make it hard like me by using the Wi-Fi. Forgive quickly. Well, that's a hard one to do. It's very hard to forgive quickly. But if you ever really want to get into those pearly gates, well, you're going to have to forgive. And that's it. You got to put God first, pray every day, return those other 5. Your pathway to heaven will be clear. It's that simple, really. But when you've got evil men that run the world, some are manipulated by Satan, some know that man's hands are in the deal too. Man has the chance to choose their fate. And yes, there's only one and two sides, good or evil. But man has the chance to play his own hand, not what God really wants to do, but you do. So evil men know that one. Satan doesn't have all the evil under his control. No, that's not how it runs. He's blamed for a lot of it, and he's responsible for facilitating a lot of it. But 3 main policies, guys: stealing, killing, and depravity of the sex. If there's something else, it's not him. When will the world learn? Satan doesn't need nuclear bombs to take over. Only man does. Man worked out his hands are in on this deal a long time ago. The Rothschilds families knew it and turned it into globalism. Yes, one family that they decide to pull their money out of the stock market, you have the biggest falls in history. Isn't that strange? One family rules the world. Another family plays on earth how it is in heaven. But you wouldn't understand that concept. He's waiting for the banter. He's waiting for the YouTube bullshit. Anything bad about Jaguar, anything bad about Odell, or anyone else that we have out there. Nothing bad, just they go through bad things from bad people. And that's the end of that. Nope. Time is coming. Time is coming when I will travel very soon. Decisions are being forced onto me every day, whether I like them or not. My nephew is discovering the same shit. Different story, but it's the same shit. And then if you boil it down, it's the same story that every young man, even a man, an older man, has to face sometimes. More often than not. In today's day and age, but you get that. So at this time right now, my sister Roma is going live, doing her things that she does for men, reads out their stories, helps them, counsels them, saved more than 1 million men worldwide, and yet not being accredited for it. But you get that. Usually you get a Nobel Peace Prize or something like that. But, when you're controversial, and you have a controversial subject like men's rights, and you're a female that stands up for men's rights, well, you're attacked exactly like Jag is, on the same level, the same caliber. When you're controversial and you're trying to get the truth out, try to wake people up to the fact, well, good is always going to be attacked. And that's that. So she's at live at the moment. We had a talk before I come on, had a bit of a giggle. That we timed each other's lives at the same time. You get that. It's funny. But yes, she helps a lot of people. She doesn't just help men too, she helps a lot of women. She'd like to help a lot more. I keep telling her, well, you come over and promote me a bit, have a few interviews with me, girl. I might be able to sling some your way. A lot of these ladies look at you as a successful woman, done it all on her own from being an orphan. That's one thing that's coming up bad for her soon. She's going to see her real family. She tracked them down. So that's coming up in a few months. I've been preparing her for that one. Because, it might not go the way you think it might go. So, just getting her ready. Because she, like Jack, suffers that PTSD. Now, that's a terrible thing. Because you can do certain things and make them go right off. I witnessed that, them trying to do that when we had that siege for 12 hours. How Jag is actually happy now and says, well, we might open it up and have a crack at that again. Don't know for 12 hours, but I reckon we could take it. Yeah, well, I never knew trolling was going to be that bad, but it was that 12 hours. I think me and Auntie Lee would have took out way more than me because she's the fastest gun on the West. I only usually got 3 or 4 lines to play around with on a phone. So, but yeah, I would at least had a count of chucking at least 1,000 people into timeout. Now you got to look like this here, like my father said, Michael, you're going to go around fighting kids. They're going to grow up one day, and you're going to be forever looking over your shoulder. Well, it's no different here on YouTube. I take the risk if I be a moderator and I tap people out of the chat that person's not going to go to my channel and start fucking taking likes and start putting bad comments and start reporting when it doesn't need to be reported. Just being a plain troll. Take that brunt too, And that's how you got to look at, that bloke cut me out of that chat. I'll go to his channel. Fix him. People say, why would you do that? You don't get paid. Well, there is reasons. God's one of them. He's the main reason. There doesn't need to be any more after than that. I got a job there. And if I'm successful with that, well, payment I receive there will come another way, not in finance. It'll be another way. And that's already being paid. That's already being paid. What people don't seem to realize is soon my name will be on the lips of a lot of celebrities. But hey, there you go. You know, it's a tricky game, guys. Evil with Jaguar. They either want to control her or they want to silence her. Because her voice holds those receipts and has a natural reverberation that even when she's talking, people will sit and listen. When she sings, they listen ever the more. That's that simple. And well, they don't want to make a martyr of her. Because let's face it, guys, you got people out there with billions of dollars. If they want someone out of the way, it'll be already out of the way. All right? It's just that simple. They want them gone, they'll be gone. No, they want to send her off the deep end. You know, it's like they've done before. Sign her off. And it was not someone signed her off into the mental institution full of drugs. Same thing they're doing to Lady Gaga right now. Same thing, same company, Rock Nation. Same people. Same thing. Same fucking style. Same fucking pattern. Nothing different. Nothing different. Get them locked up in there by some cunt signing them in with drugs so we can pump them full of shit, turn them into a fucking slow learner, and we could disappear and say, oh, they drug overdosed. But if you go and shoot them, you'll make a fucking martyr of them. That means everything that they've been saying, a lot of people that barrack for them will realize, holy shit, and they'll go against them. I can't martyr her. Otherwise, like I said, fucking the game is, that is, you want to be disappeared, they'll disappear you. Right? At the moment, they're playing a game of fucking intimidation with that woman, trying to send her off the deep end. And I'm glad that she's aware of that as well. That's really good. But that's their game. But you have a look what's going on. Same shit that Jag's been talking about for how long? And I've only known her for just before December, before I got on with them. I've been hearing it. I've actually been able to talk to her since then, which is something I never thought would ever happen. When I was younger and seeing her singing, I thought, gee, I'm never ever going to come to one of her shows, unless she comes here. They don't usually come out to Australia. So there was no chance. Well, how things change. 25 years later, there's a chance. It's always destined to be that way. But that's how that is. See, I might be the Archangel Michael and you're expecting someone to come down all preachy and all ethereal and godlike. Well, I am that. But I'm also a man, because it has to be played in the rules of the hands of man. So if I come down an angel, we would have broke the rules and Satan would have won the game. Right? It's a tricky game. He's a tricky bastard. So we got to do things different. No, there might have even been a side bet while they're playing this game. Oh, I bet you can't fucking send him without all his, take all his powers away from him. And we'll see how strong he is then. When you make him a man and he has to suffer like a man does. See what his thought pattern is then. Whether he wants to fucking save these humans then. And do as you tell him then. We'll see how he functions. Well, God played his hand, and here I am as a man. This will be played in the hands of man, because God can't physically, directly interact by the rule of the rainbow when he pulled it up in the nowadays. If he touches the earth, he's that powerful, he'll fuck it completely up. So through us, he has to work. And since the days of Noah, that's how it's been running. God needs more pieces on the board. There's actual pieces, like the two in my pocket. But we're also pieces as well. This is an infinite fucking game. It's got a lot of games happening at once. I just like to tell you it's more like fucking dominoes. Right? Not like checkers. Not like chess. More like dominoes. And it's up to you to decide whether you want to work it out as the Chinese style, where they play the game, or whether he's just fucking setting them up so they can topple the cunts down. You wouldn't have that, would you? You wouldn't have that one. But God's a kidder. God's a kidder, you know. He's a funny man. I'll tell you how God is so funny. He's so funny. And when he made man and woman, when man and woman come about, he thought, well, naturally the man's going to be stronger. And that man has a bit of a sex drive. And he didn't want him holding that woman down all the time. Otherwise, there'll be a never-ending amount of babies. So even then, he had a bit of control for the birth factor. And the woman to have a bit of control over that man. So what he did, he devised, he said, right, I'll put the man's most delicate part, and I'll wrap him in elbow skin. Now that's a kidder. You think that? So all she has to do if you're going to get on top is give you a quick safe kick there. Oh, you're down. And she got enough chance to get away. I shouldn't be like that. But the little joke doesn't hurt. But yeah, pretty much the best way to describe it. Funny that. But that's the kidder for you. Why would you design a human like that, a man like that, these delicates outside, and you give him a little flick, only the tightest little flick, and you can fucking buckle up if you're not ready for it. Even when you're ready for it, it's going to hurt. No? Why didn't he design it internal, like all the rest of the creatures? A lot of creatures have that internal organs, you know. It's only mammals that you'll find have them hanging out. All the fish is inside, all the whales are inside, and they're mammals too. They keep it inside. Birds, lizards, snakes. You know, for design purposes, of course. Simple as that. Yes, well, that's that. And that's that. Simple design for that. Humans are designed not by some fucking alien race. We are creatures of design. We're designed to function a certain way, and God wants us to believe in a certain way. It's called a design. But He's also put into that design, that algorithm, as you would say, which is still a design, still a pattern. Right? We have the ability to choose our own fate, our own destiny, but we've got to keep faith with God. We can get as high as Him in the technology. We are built in His image. We can do mega God type things. But in our mind, in our heart, we can never topple Him. He must always be on the top of us. We can never do the Tower of Babel. He'll just strike us down again. And this time he will not mess around. So, we can be godlike. You got to remember that. We can be godlike. Like him. In his image. As long as we always keep him up the top one. Simple as that. Like I keep telling people have all their funny ways about God. God's this God. God, the best way to explain it and to understand the God that loves us and looks after the life, which is his golden rule, his one cardinal rule. Because without life, there will be no life to call him God. God is like the general. He has stars. And he does not like to be deprived of his stars. And he doesn't like anyone else to come in and take over his command. Grapes only go up the chain. They don't go down. So prayers and praise goes up. He doesn't send any down. He's God, the general of the universe. This is the best way to understand God. Okay? Nowhere in the Bible does it say that he's a kind God. Nowhere. Okay? He's like the human race. We're built in his image. How do we act? God is no different in his acting. But it's just the thing is, he is God. And he knows it. But there's nothing in the book that says he's a kind God. Jesus is the kind one. He felt kind enough to sacrifice himself to allow the rest of humanity a pathway to heaven. Because before that, the God that we love, the God that they pray to, the God that now loves us and accepts our prayers, he was only letting the Jewish people go to heaven. That is that book. The first Old Testament is the story of the plight of the Jews and how God made a covenant with them and only them. And they were the only ones to go to heaven. Then Jesus come along in the New Testament. That's why it's the Old Testament of God. Now it's the New Testament of God. That's why they call it the Testament. Because there's two now. Alright? The Jews won't accept it because they just want to be the only ones that's got a bargain with God. Because they got clauses in their fucking bargain with their covenant with God that they can choose to put God on trial if they wish, because he promised to look after them most of all. And what do they pray to? The golden bull again. You ask yourself, why did not Moses step into the land of the so-called milk and honey? Because they were supposed to be given the land of the milk and honey. When they stepped across that river, it was to invade and take that land of the milk and honey. Because they did not want to travel in the desert no more. 40 years was enough. And that is the fact. So he never stepped across. No, that is not the way God wants it. And then Jesus comes along and he figures a way around that algorithm, that clause. See, God always knew. That's why he knew there was other good people in the world. But at that time, he is very bitter, very angry, not kind at all. Does he sound? Does he sound kind? Kind to one race. What about all the rest of them? Fuck them, you reckon? Only these people are coming into heaven. This is your God. So the Son worked out a way around his Father's algorithm to allow souls up into heaven. Otherwise, they'd all belong to Satan. All of us, all Christians, wouldn't be a Christian. You belong to Satan as soon as you're born. Because you were not Jew. You will never go to heaven. That's how that runs. You remember the Old Testament? That's how that rolls. You can't go to heaven unless you had that New Testament, where he broke his Father's algorithm, slipped us all up into heaven. Simple as that. Perform that act that Satan's been trying to do. Because he's trying to do the same, so slip himself up there. So he can beat his dad that he's on out, but he can't do that. God doesn't like to fucking, same act twice. So that's when the second coming of Jesus comes. Well, he's got to do something better than sacrifice himself. Don't know what he's actually going to do, but it's going to be something fantastic because God likes the sequel to be better than the fucking original. Just like us humans, Yeah, guys, like us. We like the sequel to be better than the fucking original. Otherwise, what's the point of having a second one? And if a good enough second one, it's going to lead to a third one. This is all one big giant show. The earth is a stage. Soon I'm going to take you out there and I'll show you what I mean. By showing you bush stages, all naturally everywhere. Simple as that. I'll show you some true magic things. And hopefully, I'll show you some true godlike things too. And maybe people will start to believe. It's not about money with me. It's about getting the message out. More people that watch, more people that come and see. Well, I need something a bit more visual. As for Jaguar and all that, I have promised to protect them. My job with them is totally different. They run the inside of that hole, I just protect it. Simple as that. And Jaguar once said, good or bad, a lot of people make a lot of money riding off her name and off her back. Well, I too could do that, but, I'm not like that either. That's why I enjoy supporting her. It is the right message. And I have worked with her. I've got the reason why I'm here, because God asked me to do something. And he brought me here. And when the wolf laid down with the lion, well, that's your symbol of God. So when Odell reached out to me and made me a moderator, and my symbol is the lion, and his is the wolf. And there you go. He was all waiting for it to be played out. In theory, wings in the air and shit. This is in the air. This message is like the wings, flying all around the algorithm, all around the world. Just depends how much the message gets out. The more people will listen to it, the more it flies around. I'm sitting in my mother's lounge room, but the message is getting out to someone else's lounge room, probably 15, 20,000 k's away. See? You use the tools that is available at us. This technology is godlike. You can find out information in an instant. We can talk to people around the world. When I grew up, we started off with phones that you're going to and ring up. You know that one? Now look at it. And I'm only 50 years of age, so we're progressing faster and faster and faster and faster as years and time goes on. I just watched a show where Ben Affleck, and he's got he's autistic. He's like a bit of works for the government. And when they went in to find out all the stuff and search all the cameras and find the information, they got 6 kids, about the same age as my kids in there on the computers, moving that fast. Yeah, so, I mean, I've even heard Natanya say if she needs something done with the computer, she'll get her granddaughter to probably do it. Same with me. I get my daughter to do it when they're not being little backstabbers. My kids, or they tell you, no, we won't do that, Dad, and then they'll go and say, fucking no. How they play you off against other relatives, especially their auntie, because the auntie, well, what can I say? What can I say about that one? Not much, really. She's just a bit of a screwless. Always thinks me, never, not no, always thinking me as the bad guy. Never, no. Thinking. Strange that. 1 minute it's talking to you. Next minute you're the biggest C in the universe. Got to get that too. That's in-laws for you. That's in-laws for you. They're funny sometimes. Funny that. It'll do all that. Run me down. Say all that shit about me. Say, oh, you're not really a good dad for your kids. When I got filmed, the kids saying that I am. And I am a good dad. Right? Yet when it has problems with its partner, it'll ring me up and I'll sit there talking to it for 4 hours listening to its fucking problems. Calling me brother and all this shit. And then it can go, just turns like that. So like I said, something wrong in there, it's loose. Has been since I knew her. I knew her before I knew her sister. That was my ex-partner. Well, my late partner, because she passed away from the cancer. But you get that one too. Funny that. But, we'll see. We see how we go there. Next week it might be something totally different again. Who knows? Who fucking cares, really? Doesn't bother me in a day. But it upsets my children because that's their relations. That's the other side. And now that they don't have a mum, well, it's probably the closest they got. It reminds them of their mother. And kids like nowadays, as they get a bit older, they don't like getting told to get out of the room off those devices. So they devise something up to make their father look like an arsehole. And play that little game, say, oh, well, we'll see. We'll see how I do it. See, I gotta deal with normal family things, not just angel things. But this could be an opportunity. People might not like to hear it like I'm going to say it right now. But maybe this is coming around like this. I might just give her what she wants. Because I know she wants to. I know she hasn't said it, but I know she wants it. She wants to look after those 2 children because that's the closest that she's ever going to have to her sister. And I understand that too. And for me to do what I have to do, well, I really need someone to be looking after those children. Now, my mother's too old, and she won't last, so she could probably do it. But I need to go out there for at least 40 days to achieve what I need to achieve. As simple as that. So maybe, just maybe, people will not think this way. Maybe, well, I just signed the kids over to her. If that's how they're going to be, my kids will learn a lesson that they don't fucking betray their father. They don't treat me like a dog when I'm not, after how good I've been to them. because that's the way the world is. Because that's how they teach them on the roadblocks. Because that's how they teach the fucking world through the media and the kids and that, and the welfare and all that. To hate the father, to dislike the father. The father's the bad guy. Break down the family. That's part of welfare. It's installed in them. They'll bend over backwards for a single mother, but when it comes to a single father, no, you got a shoelace out of place. Oh, that's a fucking tick against your name. Bad dad. You can't breathe. You can't discipline your kids because that's abuse. You can't take the devices off them because they talk to their friends on devices. That's isolation. That's abuse. You can't yell at the kids because they're too delicate nowadays and they go in the corner and cry. Can't do fuck all. But I can. I could even take them out there with me. Go and rent a place out there and put them into Kalgoorlie High School. And then they'll get a shock. Because that's a fucking bad high school, that one. That's really bad. That'll open their eyes up, those two kids then. And then also, we're far enough away. There will be no regular visits to the family. They want to play that game. And it's in my full right to do so. I am the only custodian of those children, by law. No one else. And they don't like it. They'll do whatever they can to take that away from me. Because I simply am a single father. But one thing more. I'm also an Aboriginal man. First Nations man of Australia. Although I might be white. It's the blood. And that's what I've been looked at and treated at. And fucking pushed around and bashed like that all my life. On both sides. Because you do have that factor if you're not white enough. Well, obviously pick on the whitey. So I gotta bash the fucking blackies too. I fight them all. And now, well, I don't fight much at all. Not what I've got in my pocket. Whiteys just still have a go because they know nothing about it. They don't believe in religion. They don't believe in culture. They snatch up and assimilate. Well, I've got the oldest culture in the fucking known world. And you won't listen to us. Hey, Jesus said God no day only babies. Babies compared to the fucking Dreamtime religion. The true story goes, God's only 8,500 years old. He never created no fucking universe. Okay? He created fuck all. He can take claim of it now because he is the God, and that's his right and that's his claim. But let me just put it to you, he didn't fuck create jack shit. Right? Mother Nature's created this fucking universe. And this is the third universe for a fucking start. God was always going to take over charge. He was in his ethereal egg. No? The two Mother Natures, the two sisters, built the fucking first universe. There was no life, and that was really bad. The oldest sister decided, well, I'm going to go and have a little bit of hibernation. So me and you are going to that little special planet, that little special pill that we built, that we keep hiding away. The one that's got all that life in it. I'm going to go and hibernate on that. You can have a play around with the galaxy and get it ready for our nephew when he's ready to take over. Right? And then you can come and sleep next to me. So she went out to this special little pill, this special little planet that they got. They put all the energy in it the first time. And she went into hibernation. And the second sister built the second universe. Wasn't quite good. There was life in it, but it wasn't functioning. So she scrapped it. Right, then she built the current universe that we're in now, the third universe. It was almost right, but something quite wasn't wrong. Something wasn't quite right. Something was wrong. It wasn't quite functioning how she envisioned it, how she dreamed it. And then she wrote the story in the stars, which takes 10,000 years to read. Right? 10,000 years to read the story of life. And when she decided, right, I'm going to lay down, but I still think I got that story of life wrong. So I'm going to lay down next to my sister, and I'm going to have a really good dream in hibernation, and I'm going to dream up people. That's where you get us, the dream time people. And she dreamed us up. And our first task was to fix this story of life that takes 10,000 years to read. Now, we got a story that's 100,000 years old, accredited by NASA. We are accredited to be here 65,000 years as a culture. We've read that story 6.5 times. Right? The way your humanity's set up, you haven't even read it fucking once. God's only 8,500 years old. He hasn't even read it once. That's why he's got the angels up there singing the fucking hymns to him. Because he's got to run around the rest of the galaxy. Fucking running it. Right? And she dreamed us up. And we looked at that fucking song, the story that she had. We read it again. And after 30,000 years, we worked out what was wrong with it. Oh, it's got dots and apostrophes in it. There's a story. Well, it's not the story of fucking life, because the story of life's got full stops to it. And it can be stopped. It's not like a never-ending story. That book finishes, you know. You could have fucking done them, sued the shit out of them for lies. Because that story ended. Right? No. Songs never end. Songs never end. There's no full stops in a fucking song. So we took all them out. And the story of life is sung. Forevermore. Forever flowing. So it doesn't cease. Right? And slowly and surely Satan's been finding these full stops and putting them back in. I got the fucking final full stop. You got the signature, Mother Nature's signature when she finished it, and she put the full stop, a little dripple on the paper, and then she got the fucking head of the pen that she was using, and she threw it away. Well, I got the head of the pen, so I can rewrite fucking life if I really want to, right? And I got the full stop. And I also had the fucking drip too, but I gave that to St. Peter because that's the shape of the key. It's not a key that fucking goes in and turns. It's a fucking, like, brand new fucking, like, technology. God's that advanced that this stone, you look at it and you think, what the fuck? It's just a little black fucking stone, yeah? When your fingers start burning, you'll fucking know there's something a bit different. Right? Especially if you're not allowed to touch it. Right? That's an insertion key, like fucking putting in a USB. You put that USB into the fucking keyhole of fucking heaven and the gate there, it activates the entire fucking grid. Nothing is getting in when that key gets inserted. It does not turn. It never will turn. And at the moment, the only way into heaven is through a tiny little fucking keyhole. So unless Satan can shrink himself down to the size of a fucking sperm and shoot himself there faster through that than God can fucking see, he ain't getting into heaven. That's how defensive heaven is. There's a keyhole. That's it. And it does not even a key. It doesn't even turn. It's just a fucking shape. And inserts that fucking chip in and activates the whole grid forever. So if evil ever gets this stone and fucking fashions it and tries to kill all life, that's also the cure. This game's a lot different than you think. I've actually played that piece. See, I played a piece for God. I gave that piece to St. Peter. If I got caught with all three of them, I'd fight for my life. I'd use my magic that I have, and I use that against them. But even the greatest warrior can be felled by more than 1,000 enemies. As simple as that. And I am subject as a man, so I'm subject. I bleed. I die. They could have guns. It's not all going to be ethereal fucking shit. You keep worrying about this spirit stuff, well, my goodness. You're more likely someone to come up and stab you in the street. And the evil is working through him to do that, and that's your fucking demon. Stop expecting the Hollywood fucking show, guys. Stop expecting the fucking wings on the fucking angels, guys. That's Satan's imagery he installed into the church to make us believe that the angels even fucking look like that. That's why I'm wearing this stone face. You like to look at fucking stones? Pray for images? Says in the Bible, there's one of the main 10 commandments, I believe. Thou shalt not pray to false gods or fucking images. Fuck, you put my fucking image up like that. That's part of the reason why he said, oh, send him here. I got him flashed up. They think he's like this one. Send him as a normal man. We'll see if they fucking believe him then. Humanity fucking did that under Satan's fucking rule. Now he's infiltrated the church. Through the imagery. The church is the most imagerized place in the world, but you will never see an image of God. You walk into there, you've never seen more symbols in your fucking life. And you want to pray to that shit? When it says clearly in that book, thou shalt not praise fucking, even the cross is a symbol. And it says the symbol is God. No, it's a symbol of a fucking cross. And we kept that as a symbol, okay? A symbol of the cross, okay? Oh, in remembrance of him nailing himself to the cross. Isn't that fucking rubbing it in some cunt's face? Ha 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 ha. Look what we fucking did to you. We put you on this one. Ha 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 ha. And then we even got a little picture of you suffering. Do you ever think that one? Like I said, most of these ones that think they're Christians, you need to really fucking have a look what you got around you. You really need to hear really look what you got hanging around you. You really need to fucking understand that book and about the fucking 10 Commandments. This is why evil was allowed to run fucking rampant. People allowed to cheer in the streets for fucking known rapists. Because they fucking pay their way out of a deal. Out of fucking, no? Crazy. You need to open your eyes, world. The world needs to open its eyes in a fashion like it's never done before. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. 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 And to people, that's all right. Oh, that's how our law functions. You have to honor that. No, I don't have to honor shit. I don't have to honor that someone can pay people to fucking get off fucking real charges. Right? I don't have to honor that shit. Oh, but the judge is a fucking crap cunt. Fucking bullshit. You have to honor it. The bloke knowingly done it. Just because they couldn't prove it in that fucking court doesn't mean he didn't do it nonetheless. Just because that judge says, oh, he's not guilty. Just there was enough to fucking convict him on it, but he still done it. You know? Fucking how many tapes? How much baby oil? How many people come forward that never fucking got the chance to go up on that stand? If the FBI don't pull out more charges very quickly, I will fucking, that's it. Then I can't trust nobody. No one can I trust it. You think about that one. You can't trust it. You got a system there you just cannot trust. Everything's too controversial. You got an entity that's fucking trying to control it all called the CIA. In your constitution, the CIA has no powers of fucking seizure. No power. They don't need, not even allowed to carry a fucking gun. They're simply supposed to investigate information of foreign countries. But yet they got more stealth bombers than the fucking military. They even got their own space shuttle. They allow to fucking carry guns and espionage all over the fucking world. They fucking put people in lock people up and got compounds where they fucking torture the shit out of people, and it's allowed to fucking happen. It's called Guantanamo Bay. And they just fucking let these cunts just do whatever they want, except in your constitution that says they're not allowed to fucking do any of that. But when they got the idea about the information, they thought, well, what's information? Information is knowing the hairs on a fly's arsehole. Information is power. Information is UFOs. Information is fucking everything that is information. We all know that. We know that. We control all that. That's why them drones. That's why they're fucking all them drones coming out the ocean in America. People seem to forget that. Oh, we turned the bomb. Well, fucking that's how stupid you bunch of cunts are. You just had a fucking invasion of drones by the CIA owned fucking drones. You asked Mr. Trump, oh, what's this? Oh, don't shoot them down. Don't shoot them down. That's why I told you not to shoot them down. Because they fucking owned them. There's a faction against a faction. Right? Simple as that. That's your new policing. That's how they're going to get you. That's how they're getting ready to change. The new world order is coming. Get ready for it. America's going to be the first hit. You're going to cop it the worst. They're going to put you fucking under control like you wouldn't imagine. You wish you was back the way you are, even with the bullshit. It's coming, guys. No, it's coming. Whether it's going to be under fucking next guy, Trump, or next guy. Just put it this way. In 4 years' time, there's going to be a woman running against him. And then you'll follow that Simpsons fucking carrot card the way they make the episodes buy the tarot cards. Once Trump goes, you get a female fucking president. Right? And what happens during that female president on The Simpsons? What happens? If you see a celebrity, shoot first. Don't ask questions. Oh, yeah. The stars are falling. It's not the stars from the sky. The stars are falling as the Epstein list and the Diddy list. Because all the fucking stars are on them. Every single one. And how did the Simpsons predict that? Oh, the stars are falling, Marge reckon. And they fell out of that blimp at that fucking football. They even predicted how Lady Gaga would come out. And now look what's happening to her. Exactly the same thing that I've been listening to Jag say for the last fucking 8 months. They try to make you look like you're crazy. They lock you up by getting someone else to fucking sign you in. And they disappear you by pumping you full of drugs. Go look out there. See what's happening to that woman. Same rock nation. Same people. Same Jay-Z. You can't just come out and shoot them like they fucking think they're gangster. Because they do that, they'll be incriminated straight away. The public are that smart and aware nowadays that they'll turn against them in a fashion that they can't afford to do. Okay? And you'll martyrize them. That means everything, they'll go back to the past and everything that they said, that will become fucking gospel. Right? It proves them woman's point straight away. They're going to kill us. So they can't do that, so they got to put them in there under the crazy factor. Then when they slip off, they say, oh, they just fucking took too much of the crazy drugs and overdose. Despite the fact most crazy medication is designed never to overdose on. Unless you're not supposed to take it. Oh, yeah, that's right. You think that one. They make that medication so you can't fucking overdose on the shit. You know? That's as simple as that. And that's what they're trying to do. That's their pattern. That's their pattern. It's not only just Rock Nation, it's all these other fucking jerks as well. They'll either fucking make you look like you're crazy. They'll download a shitload of fucking kiddie porn into your fucking computer and then do you for that. You go start exposing government secrets. That's how they operate. You wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have it that the police are actually responsible for the crime. For people that break into your house, a lot of communities, it's the police that's responsible for it. Why? Because they fucking are. You'd be quite surprised. The police force is just a fucking paid gang, allowed to have guns. If the police force really did their work, you wouldn't have half the crime that you have. So it's in their best interest not to do too much, or they wouldn't be able to justify controlling you with a police force. That's internal control, guys. Yes, we do need some sort of security. We do need a police force. But you'll find the majority of the police forces are corrupt. And the majority of the police forces in the westernized countries have bagpipes. Well, and those bagpipes, where do they lead back to? Scotland Yard. And read the history about that place, what they used to do there. That's where your policing and where your thinking for jail that comes from. Policing, come on now. The real thing is, Satan already has ownership over a third of the earth. Right? 72 nations of the Commonwealth. That's a third of the earth. Third of the population of the world. And who's the leader of the Commonwealth? It's the king. What's the king do? Gets himself painted in flames. Had a ceremony before his mother died, praising the 72 nations under the star of Lucifer that come out from behind Saturn, and a big orb that come down on a tower, emulating that, and the whole world seen it televised. Big bunch of people right there watching, come down under the name of Lucifer. And then they come down with a black woman on a big mechanical dragon. And what have I been talking about? That one out there, the dragon, a real one. The one I got a receipt from the government for to prove that I'm not talking shit. Well, that one. Mother Nature's signature. The pale horse. You know, he would have been just a fucking lizard in our legend. Hey, one that's supposed to help the fucking whole, when his mum and dad passed off. He's supposed to help the whole people. We had a nice little fucking dreamtime religion for that guy. He was going to be our shield. And you'll come along with Christianity and your God. And the narrative changed. So we had to marry the old into the new. What started with us will finish with us. You know, you can be as jealous as you want. You can think your country is great as you want. But it's the mother natures that they search for. This one and Antarctica. That's the two mother natures. That's the ones that created the entire fucking universe. Everything that we're in. They're called Mother Nature. And God's position. The claim that He is the creator of the universe. And all that it is, because He is. Now, He can choose that to be. He is the God. You can't question Him. But it's not the truth. He knows that. He knows it straight away. And the people, if I'm fucking wrong, why hasn't He struck me down? He knows it's true. He knows. He knows. I know. So He knows. And we are like God in God's image. You got to remember that. It's very hard. I will not get that Bible out and try to decipher and preach. Hello, Kiki Eyes, how are you going? Yeah, I will not get that Bible and decipher or preach or quote fucking certain verses. I'm not a preacher, nor am I a prophet. In that book it says you're not supposed to trust preachers and prophets. Not one bit. No. I am the Archangel Michael. I'm a different kettle of fish altogether. I do not ask that you believe. But it'd be nice if you did. I'm here to help you. But when I get onto that mission, well, I don't know what I might have to do. Changes every day. Every day, the rules change. Every day, a part may have to be played different than how I planned it the day before. Everything is a subject to things around me, my decisions. And I have so much around me, well, I've got so many decisions. You get that? Oh, this is a bit of trial for me too, but I'll get it right. I know what I have to do. I know exactly what I have to do. That's what frightens me the most. As a man, yeah, well, pretty frightening some of the things I got to do, guys. Pretty frightening some of the prospects where I might end up having to go. It talks about in that book about something going into the belly of a fucking beast, That could be fucking option number 3 for me. I will end up going into the belly of a beast regardless. Which one is, doesn't matter. I still know what to do. I prefer the one at the end, not this one out here. Because that's a terrible way, that way. Oh, very strange, that one. Very strange. And then, well, when you do have this 2 man in the desert, that's going to be an extremely tricky one. Because whoever it is going to be, I know it's going to be me, one of them. When you have that, it's going to be a game between those two. Whoever gets it wrong, they'll be the bad guy. So there's a chance, I might slip up and I'll manifest. And well, we'll see on camera that I am the evil one. And I will be the one that's chased. Oh, I have to trick him, manifest himself right in front of you so you can see what he actually is in his true form. And well, what I'm going to plan for him, what I'm going to get ready for him if I can. I'll win that. And he'll turn into a big black dragon right there on camera. The first thing he's going to do is fucking strike and try to eat me. And I'll let him. And that'll be the worst mistake he ever made. Oh, you see his eyes open right up then. You really will. But see, this is how evil the world is. If that played out, if I sat out there with Satan in his current human form, because you'll have yours all tricked. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I know exactly who I've got I know exactly who he is. I know who he is. When Pope Francis died, right? When he died, he fucking revealed who the Lucifer was, who the Satan is on earth. It's someone that went to his funeral. And I didn't know, I wasn't quite sure which one it was going to be. Whether it was going to be the Father or the Son. And it's the Son. I figured as much. Because that old bastard would not get his ass up on that fucking lizard, no matter how much you try. He's too old. But the Son can. And just like in heaven and on earth, lots of people want the Son to dispose the Father before his time. Strange that Father makes himself painted in flames, like osmosis, the king of hell. And Satan being the prince. Oh yeah, that's right. Osmosis is the king of hell. Satan's only a prince, remember? That's not his realm. He got a free run in there, he can do a lot of shit. That's Osmosis' realm. You know? Just like my realm is the fucking gates of heaven and the first step of God. You have to get past me before you want to go and see fucking God or try to topple him. That's my realm. You don't fuck with me there. Just like you don't fuck with osmosis down in his realm. Okay? As simple as that. That's why he's called the Prince of Darkness. The Prince. Ozzy Osbourne calls himself the Prince of Darkness. And yes, he is evil. He's still affiliated with him. But he actually regained his soul. He has to go to face heaven, and they'll ask him questions. If he answers them right, even Ozzy Osbourne will go to heaven. Because there's clauses when you sign deals with that devil, you know. You can have a little side bet because the devil is a betting man. But you got to be fucking good in what you have to beat him, what you bet him about. So that's it. He gets double into your soul then. Never let you go. No, you can make a bet like Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne just challenged him to a drinking competition. And what did he say? The devil can't handle his liquor. Simple as that. So he gets that contract fulfilled, and he gets to retain his soul, and gets a chance to go and get himself into heaven. Okay? That's how that rolls. Then you have fucking, what is it, Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper is a professional fucking, when he was a kid, he was a professional in the chess, playing the chess. He's actually got awards. I think he's won for how good he is in chess. And Satan, thinks he's a bit good at chess. So that's how come he's allowed to still fucking be living like an old man like he is and still dressing up like the evil. Because he won that game of chess and he bet him in that. You also want to know another person that used the game of chess and bet him? Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan bet him in the game of chess too. That movie Crossroads, where they're playing the guitar out in the crossroads. Well, that's not quite that far from the truth, you know. That's not that quite far from the truth. You challenge the devil to something, you can get things, you know. You retain your soul, and you got a chance to fucking slip into heaven. But, you know, you're going to be looked down a bit. It's going to be a bit hard because you did do a deal with the devil, and God doesn't really like that. But he will like it if you outsmart him. That'll give you, okay, come up. Now, why did you do this? You have to fucking repent for this and that day. We're going to put you through a bit of a drill before you put through those gates. Right? But you got a chance. Otherwise, we'll send you down to him, and you won't fucking like that. And you won't like that a bit because you just beat him at his own fucking game, and he hates that shit. So he's going to be double his torture on you. You're going to have fun getting those pineapples shoving up you the rough way. Oh, yeah. It's a fucking game, guys. Like I said, he made man in his image. Well, the current form of man. You know, the fifth generation of man. He had his bit of influence on it. Oh, my mother likes this. No, maybe I should not do it. I'll do it another time. You're not ready for that one. You're not ready for about that one. About what a man should touch and what a man shouldn't. Oh, yes. Okay, that's right. I'm just about ready to cut off. You know, hour 20 have been on. Thank you, Kiki Eyes. I'll jump over and I'll cut you in Auntie Lee's chat. If you want to get the Lord's Prayer, I did it for at the beginning. Set out for the kids. But if you want to listen just to that at the beginning, no, just listening. Kiki Eyes is enough. That's okay. I will catch you next time. I want to catch up with the family too. God bless. Stay safe. For now. Thank you for coming.